Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Midlife Moxie, or I should say to our five. We may have six listeners now. Who knows, Jen?
Think it's
I'm
six. I think it's
Gail.
six.
I'm Gail.
I'm Jen.
And today, well, first, let us set up a scenario. Let us ask you a question. Or I'll just present a scenario that I get from a lot of clients. They walk into their closet and they have all these clothes, but they have no idea what to put on. They don't know how to put the outfit together. And I know when I'm working with my styling clients, one of the things they always say, I would have never put that together. I would never thought to do that. I would have
Right.
never thought to run that together. Because there's some girls, Jen, do you know some people buy the look off the mannequin at the
Yes.
store and that's how they wear it, like forever?
No, it's absolutely true. And and I mean, we're not picking on people. If it's not intuitive, that's why you're not maybe not a personal stylist. You don't really know how to take what you've seen in the stores and then blend it back in with your other pieces so that you have more choices and more outfits and can be creative and have fun putting
I
stuff
mean,
together.
when people tell me that, it breaks my heart a little bit because I'm like, no, 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 that's for the basic girl. That's for the girl that we, you know. So I just first I have to address that I forgot my earrings today, and secondly, one of our listeners wanted me to wear my hair down some, but we are now in summer in the South. So it may be fall before you see my hair down again. Plus, my
I
hair's
don't,
got thin; it just looks like poo all the time. I'm
I don't even
looking.
recognize who you are right now without your earrings. It's like a
I
whole different
know. I'm looking at the camera
personality.
saying, what the
Like,
heck's wrong? Well, I forgot my earrings. Well, but I didn't want to go back upstairs. It's time to record. And y'all just see that we don't always have it together.
we're always together.
So let's talk about what happens when you walk in that closet and you're trying to get dressed for the day or the week. First off, well, let me give you a big tip here. You ready, Jen? This is
I'm
a good
ready. I'm
one.
ready for your big tip.
If you are a busy woman who has to get up and get out the door daily, especially early, I really encourage you to put some time into your looks on Sunday evening. And
Yeah.
this is a practice that a lot of people adopt. And I was on site with a client back in December. And we actually set her closet up to do this. We went to the Container Store and we got her a rolling rack, and we got these little containers even to hold her jewelry for every single day because she's a very busy professional that has to drive into the city. I mean, she's got to get up and get going, but she needs to look a certain way. So she now spends about 15 minutes on Sunday evening putting together her looks for the week. And let me tell you what that's accomplished for her. Number one, she saves 10 or 15 minutes every morning, she says. Number two, she's wearing more of her clothes because she
Yeah.
said, when I didn't know what to do and I'm under that pressure in the morning, I would just put together a navy and beige and
Right.
just walk out the door. So you go to your trusteds. We all have those trusteds, you know.
Mhm.
And she wasn't always doing all her accessorizing and thinking it through. So doing it at a time when you have the mental capacity, not when you're running late or you're trying to get kids up the door or whatever
Right.
your situation is, it will really allow you to go through a process that creates beautiful outfits that you feel beautiful in, confident in, authentic in, without being late where you're going.
And
Do you do
here's
that?
another tip is that especially since we are in the summer and if you are traveling, this exact same strategy works for planning your suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Before you
Yep.
go packing everything, because I plan them so much better now because my husband has a spreadsheet and the whole
Wait, wait,
thing.
wait, wait, wait. Are you saying there's people out there that just throw stuff in the suitcase and plan the outfit when they get there?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
You-
that's shocking to me because when I'm going on a trip, I know what things I'm going to wear together most likely. There might be a few little extras thrown in. I've picked out the jewelry for the look. I know what shoes are going with that look. Because if not, how do you know you've got what you need for the look?
Okay, so there was a time where I just overpacked, I big time overpacked, and just knew like, okay, I know that I'm going to be wearing these shorts and we'll say pants and these tops. And I would just literally overpack and throw everything in. And I would end up wearing only maybe half at the most of it. I have entirely too much stuff to sift through once I got to my destination. And it was not always the best looks. So yeah, oh, I did that. I did. Can I
Oh my
just
goodness.
share
I
a
even,
shit?
when my children were little, long before I became a stylist, I even packed their little clothes as outfits.
No.
When you're at Disney World, it was even like in little bags with it labeled what that was
Oh
for.
my, that's like the opposite of me. So I have just a really funny story. This is everyone will be entertained by this story. So, and this is by the way during a time where I am far more organized in putting outfits together and planning out the days. But a couple years, I think it's a couple years ago now, Joe and I, my husband, we cruise all the time. We're always on a cruise ship, it seems. And this we were getting ready the night before to get on to a ship. And and that day that we were supposed to be packing, we just have a bug up our butt. We just can't seem to get it together. So we decided it would be a good idea to walk up to our wine bar and just relax and have a glass of wine, and then we'll come back and we'll pack. Well, one glass led to two glasses, and by the time we got back to the house, we were in no shape to pack, but we knew we had to. So all I remember is saying things like, I like these dresses. The next morning, good thing we did check before we actually got on the plane because my husband realized he packed no underpants and I didn't pack any shirts. It was kind of a nightmare. It was funny
That
though.
sounds
It
horrific
was
for me.
horrific.
That
And
is
by the time we got to Miami, I discovered that I
anxiety-inducing,
did not pack
panic
pajamas.
striking. I no, at my house for okay. If it's a big trip that requires a lot of planning and specificity, like if it's out of country or like if we're doing Disney where we've got all these
Yeah.
reservations at certain restaurants and things we're doing certain days, that starts weeks in advance. Then the week of, no one is allowed to wear anything the week prior that they think they might want to take because I don't want to worry about it being out of the laundry at the right minute. So we also usually have a staging area for a trip like that, where we're putting the things that we know go. And that's kind of the way I start my packing process is I start with things I want to take. So I'll start there on putting outfits together. If you are traveling, we'll start with that one. I really recommend that you first step back and ask yourself, what pieces do I have that I really want to take? Because that's
Yeah.
what I ask my clients. I'll say, I even create a section in their online closet and say, put things you know you want to take to blah, blah, blah location here. And then that gives me a starting point because every outfit has to have a starting point. But for packing, I have found it very helpful if it's color centric, like it's
Yeah.
built around a certain color, um, or at least a certain neutral, because the things that you're going to add to that, like on vacation, I'm probably not going to take every colored pair of shoes I have. I'm going to take a few that work with all the outfits. So that
Right.
gets into white, black. So doing it for a trip can go one of two ways. It can be color centric, or it can just be if you have no limit on luggage. Because my clients are very different. I have some they're like, I'm taking a carry on to London for 2 weeks, which makes I just skip a beat in my chest when they say that. But then I like some that are like checking 2 trunks. They don't care what it costs or how inconvenient it is. They're taking everything they
Yeah,
want.
this is important to just say out loud. We're just going to give you tips on what we feel is going to help you stay sane, organized, and pull together for the week. But you got to do you. So, if
100.
you got to still like, if it's like you have to really try too hard to do some of these tips, then maybe those aren't the best ones for you. Do something that you're enjoying the process a little bit. Otherwise, you won't do it. So,
And some people don't care that their outfits are, top
right.
line for a trip. It depends on what kind of trip it is. It also depends if you have access to laundry. Like when we go to the beach, we
Yeah,
have laundry in the condo. So we know we need fewer clothes because we can do laundry.
right.
And that makes a big difference.
It
So I
does.
always ask questions to my clients when I'm packing them for a trip. But these are things you need to ask yourself because if you have laundry, you don't need to take as many, especially multiples of things like underwear and swimwear and all the things.
Right.
Now, me and my friend have an ongoing debate about doing laundry on vacation. She won't. She takes all her clothes home dirty.
Okay.
Me, I can't. I do
I
not
like
like
to,
to.
if I can, I like to pack clean. The cruise, we send laundry out once, and I also take note of what things are definitely wearable twice. So like
Yes.
in on cruise, like when a beach is different than when you're on a cruise. On a cruise ship, especially the one we're going on, you have to dress up for. I love the dress up anyway, but you have to dress up for the evening, for the shows and for dinner, and it's super fun to get dressed up. So, I used to pack a different dress every single night, which got to be entirely too much. So now I bring three. That's my I have my hard rule. I can only bring three, and we're on for 7 nights. It'll be fine. Because honestly, one of those nights, we're gonna end up not dressing up. We're just gonna be like, screw it. Let's just put on pants and a t-shirt and go kick back in the lounge with the pizza or something. So anyways.
Gotcha. You got to know what you're going to do and what might come up on a vacation.
Yeah.
For vacation, I like pieces that can serve more than one purpose,
Yeah.
like a great pair of black slacks, or this time of year, I'll wear black crops because I can dress that up for a nice dinner out, or I can wear it with a t-shirt and sneakers or
Yeah.
sandals. A little black skirt is great, or a white skirt. For you, maybe a brown skirt. What are you doing? She's
Brightening my
putting
lips
on
up.
lip. Oh gosh, she's bringing her lips up to par right in the middle of our podcast. So, but let's flip the switch and talk in generalities. First of all, you walk in there, and a color is a great place to start. What colors you want to wear? And a lot of things can drive this, like what you're doing. Like, am I going to be on camera today? Where am I going? And like, even when I go to play pickleball, this comes into play. Like, if I'm playing outside, I'm not going to wear a black top because it's going to be too hot. So start with a color. Now, Jen, you like quads of four colors.
I do. Mm,
Sort of. That's what you usually put together if I ask you for some colors. I'm a
I
trio.
do. But that's only because when I'm thinking about other people, I want to give them some choices and a range. Because if I say to someone, oh, wear a light blue with that brown would be so pretty, their brain is thinking of blue that may not be in my head. And so then I give them like two options. Like maybe one's a turquoise and one's
So
a
when you put out a quad, you're not telling them to wear all four of those together. You're
right.
telling
It's usually kind of an
them,
X. It's like I do okay, and on the for listeners, what I usually do is I put two colors up top and two neutrals on the bottom that are a little bit of a variety, so you can like depending on what you've got in your closet, and then you can use the pairing of one neutral and one color, and vice versa with like if you did it in an X, right? So, but the colors don't always necessarily mean they go together. I guess sometimes they do. Just depends.
I wish I could read your mind because that's not what I got out of that. But I'm a trio girl. And why? Like I said, Jen, can we just do these trios? These quads don't resonate with me because I like to pick, usually it's two colors and a neutral.
Yep.
That's 90% of the time what it's going to be. So I'm going to know what my neutral is. It could be three colors. And it could be for me just two. A lot of times my whole outfit is pink and white or pink and black or
Totally.
white and black. That's okay, especially for us people who are really bold and out there. Two very strong colors, head to toe, make us really happy. But let's think of in a triad. So
Yes.
when you go in there, you've got to have a starting point. So this is where people get confused is they don't know where to start. So pick a color that you want to wear that day. So say you pick coral.
Okay.
And then the next question is, what am I going to wear this? So you're going to go to your natural matches to coral, which are things like teal, brown. If you're cool, it could be white, it could be navy. And then you're going to decide for my third, for things like accessory, shoes, belt, am I going to pick one of these colors or am I going with a neutral? Adding in a third color, unless you're really proficient, can be tricky. You can do it. And especially if it's in that same family, like I might wear pink, purple, and another tone of purple or another tone of pink. But adding in a third completely different color is a little bit advanced for most people, don't you think?
Yeah, it is because there's a lot of color theory involved with this. There's also a lot of letting go. Some people get really caught up in hard rules that they've heard me say, or you say. And sometimes it's just fun just to pop in a color. And when we say pop, like when we give you, whether it's we give you a trio of colors or we give you a quad of colors, whichever we give you, even if it's just two colors, we do not mean to wear all these colors evenly spaced, meaning exactly thirds of each. That is what we please don't do that. That's not what we want to do. So if Gail gives you three colors, likely two of them are going to be your main pieces, about 60 to 70% of one of them, 30 to 40% the other. So like imagine a top tucked into some pants is a good example of the ratio. And then that third one is supposed to be an accent. It's supposed to be a pop in. It could be fun earrings. It could be your nail polish. It could be a bag or shoes. It's not meant to be another thing, another layer of a color, because then you start to look clowny. It's too
That's how it
much.
gets a little chaotic. It needs to
Yeah.
be something smaller on the body, like a bag or a pair of earrings. Now, I lost my train of thought, Jen.
So,
Where did I go with that?
so let me just add on to that then. So when now you're thinking about that, when we say just pop a color in, then you know what? You can have some fun with this because I'm wearing like I'm right now, listeners, I'm wearing like a bright like turquoise linen top. If I wanted to pop a color in, on my opinion, just about everything would go because it would just be a pop. It could be a really fun little necklace with like a pink thing on there. It could, red nail polish, or it could be something where it's not going to necessarily conflict with your brain. It could be unexpected, could be super fun. It could be lime green
When
and
in doubt, do
turquoise.
two. When in doubt, just pick two colors that
Yeah.
work well together. Those are easy. In our group, we give them to you all the time. If you're a member there, we
Yes,
give
all
you
the time.
beautiful color combinations,
Yeah.
and that's fun to do. But you can always throw in a neutral, and this is where knowing your best neutrals, like we've talked about ad
Yes.
nauseum, really important, and that you build that closet so that you have the neutrals that work with your outfits. Okay, another starting point can be a great print, and this is one of my
Oh, that's a good
favorites
one.
because it's so easy. Like if you take the blouse I have on today, if you're just listening, it has coral, magenta, a gray, white, black, and pale pink, which is a very odd combination. Jen hates this top, and I love it.
Okay, to be fair, it's super cute on you, but when it's hanging up on the mannequin behind you, I don't know why. I just don't like that thing.
She just hated it on
It looks
Roxanne.
so
Roxanne needs
cute on
it
you though.
too.
Like,
Well, it's my colors. I mean, if you just threw
yes.
my palette up in they don't normally go together, which I think makes the coolest patterns or color. Like I wouldn't normally put magenta and coral together or that lilac-y pink and coral together. I love patterns like that because they give you the
Yeah.
opportunity to put together colors that don't normally go together. So, say if I'm wearing this, I'm probably going to put a neutral on the bottom, probably white or black. But then I've worn this like with the coral shoe. I've worn this with pink accent. What I tell my clients is pick two colors from the pattern
Oh, I
and
like this.
work. And that has been a almost foolproof, foolproof, guys. If you want to make it easy, way to get dressed. If you get more than two, that's when it can get a little bit crazy, especially with a pattern. So, say I take the pattern I have on, I do pink earrings and pink shoes, but then I may do a coral bag or a black bag. I may pull one of the neutrals. Neutrals don't compete like another color does. Just know that. So if you're on the fence, just go safe with your neutral. But
Yeah.
in this case, the neutral's in the print, and that makes it work kind of like a color.
This is a really awesome idea too when you are in the process of building out your wardrobe or trying a new color story within your current wardrobe. If you've got a great top, I'm going to use the word top specifically here, but you've got a great top with these colors that you just love. Like, first of all, you have to love these colors. Like, please don't just get something because we tell you get a pattern and you're like, well, let's go with this. Like, you love the colors
There's
because
some ugly
then
patterns
like
there.
if we take Gail's, for example, say she bought this and she's building out a new like a new summer wardrobe or a new fall wardrobe with it. She could wear that dark burgundy, like a dark burgundy pant with it, for example, and have a completely look. And then because she has those pants, you could do just a neutral top, like a white blouse or something, something that you can then add on. And you can start to do that because you have this one central pattern piece that should start to hopefully inspire ideas of what you can build out and have these other outfits along with it, which then helps with your weekly planning and your packing if you have all those pieces.
Patterns are connectors. And,
Yeah.
I will have a lot of clients come to me that are a little bit pattern phobic or pattern averse.
Yeah.
They're frightened by them. I'm like, why would you be frightened by them? They are the easiest things to work with. It's when you start putting one solid color up against another solid color, that's much more difficult unless it's just a color and a neutral, which is
Yeah.
off boring. So patterns bring life to your wardrobe, but they also make it easy. They're like saying, here, put on these colors, pick two from me, and they tie it all together. They bring it into just this beautiful color story.
Yeah.
And it really is the easiest way to get dressed. And pattern tops, hands down, an easy starting place. And when I'm building out closets for my clients, tops are one of the main places I start. Because if we
You,
can get them a few tops, I could wear this top one day with pink pants, one day with black pants, one
yeah,
day with a black skirt, one
super
day.
cute.
You can wear tops over and over and over again with basic bottoms. And when I was broke as convict, during my leanest years, I would just have a few pair of bottoms. I would have a denim, a white, and a black usually. And I would just buy these inexpensive tops and a mix and match because, like, if you're just wearing a cute little black crop pant, unless there's something really specific about that pant, like it's got grommets on it or fringe hanging off, a lot of people don't notice and remember that piece because
Yeah.
it's a little benign. And if you mix the tops up, it doesn't feel like you're wearing the same thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's another good thing for packing on trips. If you're going to be seeing a lot of the same people,
I
pick
repeat my
the
bottoms.
benign pieces and then put them with pop pieces
Yep.
like this or the jacket that's behind me. Like I could take both of these on a trip and wear them with white bottoms. Like I love a white crop in the summer because sometimes in the evening I'm just not in the mood for shorts unless I'm truly at the beach. You go in these cool air conditioned
Yeah,
restaurants. So I
exactly.
love crops in the summer.
And here's the thing, just like going back to the, planning for the week, if you have to dress for work or whatever, you just want to dress for the week, it's the same kind of thing. Don't think you have to wear all original clothes all week long. There is absolutely nothing wrong with repeating something, but like to Gail's point, don't wear the pattern top twice. That's a little bit too noticeable, but
Right.
you can repeat the bottoms. You can repeat the shoes. There are things that people aren't going to go, oh, I think she just wore those like 3 days ago. Like that's
No
not,
one will pay any
people don't
attention
pay
to
attention like
the
that.
black crop. They
Yeah.
will not.
Right.
Um, okay. My next one is to build an outfit around a piece that you just love and want to wear. And it usually for us, let's just be honest, is what we got new. Let's just be, if you're like me, my husband and I are both the worst if we get something new. My husband's worse than I am. If we go shopping and come in, I will hear the laundry running and it's him washing what he got new so he can wear it the next day.
That's cute.
He is just so bad. So if you have a piece, be inspired by the piece. Ask yourself what colors are in this piece? What is the vibe of this piece? What is the style of this piece? What's going to make this piece stand out? So do you do that, Jen? Do you start with a piece?
I can't help it. Yes. I always start, actually, like, it's kind of a mix because like you had said, there are certain things that I just want to bring that are usually one-offs. But then there's a couple pieces that I absolutely just want to bring. Like I have a new jumpsuit that I will absolutely have to bring and I will make it work so I can wear it multiple times.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then, even once we identify the piece, sometimes people get confused about what next. So, say a client has a jacket they want to wear.
Yeah.
The
Great.
next thing I'm probably going to pull with a jacket is going to be the bottom because we're going to have a bottom. Then I'm going to come back to the top to bring it together because that top's going to have to work with both pieces,
Mhm.
and it can be a very uniting piece. Now, some people will say, but I want to wear this jacket and top together. Okay, put it together, and then let's go to your pants department. And this is why you need departments in your closet. And by departments, yours may be little sections, they may be shelves. I have one client that has two closets in her bedroom. And when I actually went on site to work with her, I switched how she had it. She had it arranged by color, but she had all the pieces in that color together. And then all the pieces, and I started to feel panic and anxiety. It just was, can I please just, can we just try another way? So we put tops and bottoms in one closet and third pieces in the other, because she needed to make that top and bottom selection and then decide what third piece was going to go with it. That worked for her. So we arranged her closet that way. And then within, say, tank tops, they're by color, short sleeves, they're by color, long sleeves, then they're by color. This system works so well. And I've done it for myself, I've done it for my husband, because when you're putting an outfit together, you'll think to yourself, I need a tank. Okay, you've got the tank department, and then they're arranged by color, rather than just going to a color department. You may not know what color department to go to. You know what I'm
Okay, I am
saying?
loving this so much because I never thought to make to move all the third pieces into a separate section. This is going to make my life so much easier because right now I have the tops and the third pieces kind of all combined. So that I'm always kind of
No.
going through going, no, that's a duster. No, that's a
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's now I don't have as much closet as others do, so I have to get very creative, but I never even thought to do that. Gail, you've changed my life.
Oh my gosh. I'm
You've
so
changed
happy
my
because in
life.
that
I'm a little
section of what we
emotional.
call
Wait.
third pieces, if y'all don't know what we're talking about there, we're talking about jackets,
Yeah,
vests, shrugs, cardigans.
sweater.
It could
Yeah.
even be an outer jacket just for warmth. Those need to be in a
Yeah.
section.
Like, and I have a bunch of those stuff. It's just,
And you can start there. But when you have these departments, you, even if your closet's tiny, my closet in this house is quite tiny, but it's okay. It's an older home, that's the way it is. But I can take from one section, then turn to another section rather than trying to dig through a lot of minutia that doesn't make sense. Like, and my pants and stuff are by skirt. Then we've got denim, then we've got pants, and then I have a section for things that are two pieces, like they're an outfit that's two pieces go together. And so your closet has to make sense. And once it does, you're just going through there like you're shopping almost, picking out those pieces. But a specific piece can really give you creativity in outfit, because think about that piece, especially if it's something special. What does it say? Does it say rock and roll? Does it say high class boss lady? What does it say? Does it say hippie chick? And then go look for other pieces that complete that vibe and complete that color story. Okay.
changing my life right now. My life has changed. Is your life
I
changed,
live.
listeners? Maybe they'll share it with their friends and we'll get 12 listeners.
Oh, yippee yay, yippee yay.
Oh,
I
this is
do like
so
to be a
exciting.
change. I call myself a disruptor because I like to blow things up and do them better. Okay. Starting with an accessory. Okay. This weekend, I got a beautiful new pair of earrings from Mignon Gavanon, and they had white, pale pink, and hot pink in them. You can build a whole outfit around an accessory like that. I wore, let's see, what I wear. I had a new pink blouse that tied in with the pinks. I wore white slacks. I threw on some silver shoes, just a neutral. But that earring was the thing that made it feel cohesive. It brought together all the colors I was wearing. And y'all, jewelry and bags have the power to do that. Sometimes I do it with a Tweety bag, or sometimes I do it for my clients with a shoe. Like if they're going to wear solid on top and bottom, I love a floral shoe. So we can start with a floral shoe and pick the solids that can be two different solids, or it can be monochromatic, but that shoe is kind of the star. So sometimes I start there, sometimes I end there, but starting with a piece that's a cool shoe. I start with shoes a lot, I'll be honest, because shoes, you don't want to get a whole beautiful outfit built and realize you don't have the shoe for the situation.
Right?
Like
Yeah.
But the shoe that you want to wear
Ideally
with
not.
it is not going to work. It's
Yeah.
too high of a heel. It's not going to work in the rain. So sometimes it makes sense, especially if it's rainy, it's super cold. You're going to be doing a lot of walking. Let the shoe drive the outfit. Pick the shoe that works for that situation and then build from the bottom up. Say, okay, I really need to wear these shoes for comfort. They're my best walking shoes. I'm going to be XYZ and it's this temperature. I love matching a top to a shoe. It's one of my favorite little tricks. It's so simple. And that's why I love my clients to have
Oh
colored
yeah,
shoes,
super fun shoes.
everything
Definitely.
they really can set an outfit off. Wait, because if you take someone's walking down the street and they've got on a hot pink blouse, just a simple pair of jeans, and then they've got on a hot pink shoe, that is so much better than like a navy or white or beige shoe. It's just so much better. If
So
you're on
much
a
better.
budget, start with the tiny neutrals, but as you expand out, get that pop of color shoe because it really
And
makes a difference.
just as a shopping warning though, just like any other time you're going to go shopping, you see a pair of shoes that you're like super fun colors, like I love them, I'm going to buy them. And maybe you should, but don't bring them home and then have nothing to wear with them. That would make everybody really, really sad.
Now, I will say, if you have a good closet already, like your closet has all the basics, you can get a little more fun
Yeah,
and you can buy
if you had the
shoes.
foundation in place, yes.
And if you know you're a person that shops regularly, it's okay to buy a shoe and then build some things around that if you love that shoe. And I gotta just say, I am a shoe loving person. Like I will buy the shoes and my panties be falling apart, but I got some new shoes I love. And shoes can be investment pieces, but typically good shoes are really worth it. You'll have those for years and years and years. And I'm telling you, they just really add so much to an outfit. They really take you from an outfit to something that can be really stylish and considered really top notch.
Yeah.
But that can also be just that starting point that gives you a great outfit. Now, if you're looking at a bag, this summer we're seeing all kind of woven bags like raffia and almost bamboo kind of look and woven leather. See, that starts me on a whole, let's build a look that's kind of Bombay company out of Africa or something. And so I'm going to give them linen and textured fabrics with it or a big open weave sweater. So I'm not even matching the color of the bag as much as I'm matching the vibe of the bag. The vibe feels traveled. It feels elevated. It feels I don't know what the word is. I always just come up with out of Africa or something. It's baskety. It just feels like it needs other
Organic, it's
elements.
natural,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
textured, it's tactile, all the things. Yeah.
And so
I
I would
the
go
power
build
of
an
the
outfit like
accessory,
that.
right?
It's about that look more than the color story. Now, another example would be I've got a pair of Converse sneakers I like to wear to Converse. They're high top. I mean, they're platform high top Converse I like to wear to concerts. So when I want to wear those, I'm going to pick some outfit that's kind of punky and spunky, sporty to go with those shoes rather than paying attention. The color story has to work ultimately in everything. Just let me back up and say that. But that would not be my jump off point. My jump off point would be that pair of shoes. They're concert appropriate. They have a fun, funky vibe. And
What's
I'll
the
build
color?
they're black.
I was waiting for her to say they're hot pink. That's what I was waiting for. I
No,
just
they're
ruined
actually
it.
black leather
Oh,
platform.
cool. Very cool. Yeah, I like it.
There's a specific one that they have that had the little curved sole on the front and back. They're not, they're like a revision,
Yeah.
modernized of the old school Chuck Taylor, but they're fun. And so I might put those with a funky, sporty dress or
Yeah.
skirt. If I'm going to see a funky top band like my Mr. Wives or Paramore or something like that. So you can go with the vibe and kind of start there. So if you were going with a very romantic vibe or very like beachy windblown vibe, you're going to wear, whatever you start with, the
Mhm.
vibe can be what goes through the outfit. So
This
I
is
love
fun. I hope everyone's taking notes. Man, like you're making me want to go start packing for my trip now.
we all know that's not going to happen until Saturday about 7. What are we talking about?
Oh, Joe's been stressing about it for like 3 weeks though, but he hasn't done anything about it. I think he's going shopping today after work to go get stuff. Because that's, well, by the way, don't do this. This is a big no. Don't go shopping just for the trip unless you know you're going to wear that stuff later. He has a tendency
Okay.
to impulse
That's
shop a
something
bunch of
that
stuff at
I've got that's
once.
going to rock the rafters because people are going to go, what are you talking about? The best closets are ones that you don't have to go shopping
Yeah.
before a trip.
Yeah.
If you want to have one or two things, like you want to pick up a new dress or you need
Oh,
to
yeah,
take
yeah,
care of,
yeah. I'm not saying don't shop for your trip. I'm saying don't do what my husband's been doing, which is literally every other day packages have been coming in the door, and they're just these random tops. Like they're all nice tops that he will wear for work, but he's in his brain thinking he's buying all these things for the trip. And so now he's
did
got
you
too
order
many.
that top for yourself that I sent you?
I don't know if he has or not. I don't even know if we'll get it in time anyway.
I think
So,
you can if you
oh,
hurry.
Gail
Um,
is, she frustrates me.
that should, how does that frustrate you? That should be, okay, y'all, for what you don't know, I send Jen things I think she should buy. I
Yes.
think being a good friend, don't y'all?
And I'm not allowed to say no. That's what, not allowed to say no. I'm not allowed to say I don't like it because she literally reaches for the phone, smacks me with it, and says, go buy it. And then I do.
Okay, so why are you not allowed to say no though? Let's review history because we've been shopping in person together. Why are you not allowed to say no?
Because often, often you're right.
He's gonna
That
choke on those
sometimes
words.
once I put it on, it's
We have
really
literally
nice.
been in a store and may force her into a dressing room and tell her put it on, just prove me
Gail,
wrong.
she's right. Okay. You know, I'm going to segue into a tip for our viewers, which is this, and you will appreciate this.
Okay.
Assuming your closet is good to go and you're planning the week out, whether it's for a trip or for your life, it also helps if you give yourself some space to put the clothes on and outfits before you pack them or before you settle on something. Like I know that I've been very organized before and packed for a trip. And then once I started to pull things together, I'm like, this isn't working the way that I imagined it was supposed to work. I thought it was going to look a certain way. Even though I know my clothes, it would
I'd
have been
even
helpful if
having
I had tried things
stylists.
on before I put them into the suitcase.
We always tell people, check this. Don't, we're not saying just throw this on and run down the streets. You got to check any outfit because
Yeah,
sometimes
because it's like things like where you
it doesn't
thought,
work.
oh, I'm gonna tuck this top into these pants, it's gonna be super cute, and then you do it, you're like, that's not working at all. But now you've got it, you
Well, and we
packed it.
forget details. Like sometimes I've got in my head, I'm going to wear something. And then when
Yeah,
I put it on, I'm like, oh, I forgot that I had that weird tab over here. I
yeah, it's
can't take
something
it in. I forgot
weird.
that I had a tie waist. I
Yep.
do it with my own clothing. But here's the thing on travel. If you will spend the time to build a great closet and you will follow the things we recommend, when it comes time to travel, the likelihood is that you will have a lot of things that you need. Like I have clients who can go to their closet and
Yeah.
just pull. And that is so nice. Now, if you want to get something new, that's great. But don't put yourself in a position where you have to go buy a lot of new things at the last minute because number one, it's going to stress you out. Number two, you're going to
Yes.
have to pay more than what you want. Number three, you're not going to find what you really want. And you're going to buy things that you just like, okay, because you've got
Yep.
to have something
That's
to wear.
exactly right.
So
Yep.
this goes to my rule, and my clients buck me on this all the time. Buy things before you need them. That sounds frivolous, but it's actually not. These are thought out items that you know you're going to have a need for. I'm not talking about just go buy
Yeah.
things with no plan to wear it. I'm talking about like right now, people only want to buy summer clothes. But if you find the most amazing black dress that will serve as your cocktails after work with my husband dress, your funeral dress, your blah, blah, and you find that now,
Yeah,
even though
just
it's
get
long
it.
sleeve for winter,
Agreed.
you buy that dress, especially if it's a deal. Now, if it's regular price, you can find it anytime. That's different. But sometimes the best pieces, you have to take them when they're there. And I'm
Yeah.
always telling my clients that they're like, well, I don't need that right now. I'm like, Susie, you are the queen of panic when you do need it. Because sometimes my clients are really cute. They like to come up and tell me they have something next week that's big and important and they need something fabulous for, and they're a petite or, they have something special to it, which makes it a little harder, that they need this specific thing. I think they just like to see if I can do it. But don't put yourself in that situation, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Go ahead. Like when I found this pair of black crops on sale at, I think it was J. Crew Factory or something, I bought those because I know I can always use an amazingly fitted black crop. Same thing with my white linen crops. When I found those, I knew I would need them this summer. I knew I would wear them like crazy. I wear them probably once a week. I bought them when they were standing in front of me. I didn't buy them ultimately thinking about I need to wear them on Tuesday. So develop your eye to look for the things that are going to make sense for you and that you know you are going to need and that you're going to wear.
Right. Like I'll give you an example for me. Things that I will buy because I know that I will need them will be for speaking engagements and for cruise nightlife. Those are the two,
Yeah.
no, for me, my lifestyle, those are the two number one scenarios that if I see something, even though it's not for 6 months out, I will still absolutely pick that up going, this will be perfect for the speaking engagement in November or whatever it is. And so in that
This
case,
feels intuitive, but you would be surprised how
right.
many women struggle to have the vision past what they're going to wear next
Because
week.
otherwise, like you said, you're panicking. My God, what am I going to wear? I'm on stage in literally 2 days and I've got nothing. Like that is the worst thing to do to yourself if you're someone that's a presenter, a speaker, you lead a lot of, you're a leader in a company and you're always leading groups. Like these are things you want to be able to just pull an outfit and go, "Ah, yeah, this is the one this is
We all
power."
want that satisfaction of getting something and wearing it right away, but it's not
Yeah.
always the smartest move. Like I have people who need a suit a couple of times a year, and I'm always looking for the great suit because if you wait till 2 weeks before your event, suits are
Forget
very
it.
hit and miss. Sometimes there's a million
Yeah.
great ones on the market, and sometimes I can't find one to save my life, especially if you're a special
But
size.
it feels
So think
like Christmas when you find it. You're like, oh, it's free. I get to wear this now.
yeah. And you do need to change your attitude about that. It doesn't have to be that I'm going to wear it next week. Now, if you're on a budget, you do have to get what you need now. Or if you're starting from scratch,
What? What happened?
my,
Gail?
oh, it disappeared. There we go. My screen went blank.
I
I
thought
think
maybe I
somebody,
put my glasses on and I glammed
I
you.
thought you bumped a button or something.
And you're
So,
like, my God.
and here's the other thing, just a few more tips putting outfits together. I want you to stop wearing the same things together all the time. That will make it look like you have way fewer clothes than you do. And even when you're purchasing clothing, I want you to think about alternative ways to wear things
Yes.
and what things can be mixed and matched. Like a great suit, especially if it's a solid, for women, those can be mixed and matched. Just a little harder with men. They can do it a little harder, but women, especially when you pick like a suit that's a tweed or a print or has some kind of different, some different colors in like the jacket,
Yeah.
that easily parlays over into wearing it with a pair of slacks or even a pair of jeans.
Yes.
Because people
I love
ask
that
me,
look. Hmm.
and if you're working with a stylist and she recommends something for you, a very appropriate question to ask is, how do you see me wearing this?
Yeah.
Because that's something my clients struggle with. They don't have the same vision. Well, I do, and I already know what we're going to do with this in my brain. So if I don't tell you that, you can always ask me. But learn to ask yourself those stores. What are
Yeah.
when you stay in store, what's the different ways I can wear this? And that may make the difference between one jacket and the next, or one pair of slacks and the next. Is it something you wear?
It could also make your shopping moment a lot of fun because if you can only think of one way, well, then you're still in that same store with the same colorway throughout the whole store. What's the second piece you might be able to buy with it? Could be fun that way too, right?
Yeah. You got any more ways that you build an outfit? Some of you are building outfits of what's clean.
Yeah, that's just, yeah,
That
well.
requires a special kind of creativity too.
Okay, so we said around around an accessory, we said around a pattern, we said around a color, around a neutral is an obvious one, but did we really say that? I feel
You didn't
like,
really say it, but we can always do the
I mean,
neutral.
honestly, if it's just for outfits that you're wearing throughout the week, I don't think that's a big deal. I think neutrals really can become even more important when you're packing. So you're not picking three, like for me, it makes so much more sense to narrow it down to like one or two neutrals tops, because then you don't have, in my brain, I don't have to commit to an outfit knowing that that top will go with either one of the neutrals, or I can, you know what I mean? Like it makes things a lot easier to like not have to be so rigid on your plan if you can mix and match and you know everything's going to work together. So I would say two neutrals, especially if you can wear the two neutrals together. If like
Yeah,
for
like black
me,
and white,
cream
navy and
and denim or
beige.
cream and navy or some, whatever it is, if I can wear those two neutrals together, it makes building more, it makes building some capsules really easy. And then you throw in some colors. So, and again, that's really more for packing than it is for mapping out your week. So that's kind of what I do.
Yeah, because you don't want to get on vacation and have a, because what happens if you throw in too many colors, you have to also throw in too many accessories and
Yeah,
it becomes a heavy lift. So you either wear something that doesn't look great together or you wind up taking a million pieces of jewelry
yeah,
and two or three bags. If you stick with a neutral, if you really want to get simple, having a great neutral pair of shoes that goes with every
with
outfit,
every outfit. Exactly.
same bag that goes with it all, that really gets it lean for travel, especially. And you got to know the difference. Are you appearing somewhere that you need to look like $1 million every day? Are you impressing people? Are you at the beach? Like we go to the beach on
Right.
an island off the coast of South Carolina. I started to say nobody's going to see me, but the funny thing last time I was on this island, I ran into two people I know, one from another state and one from my town where I live in now. So we get cozy over here in South Carolina. It's a little place, and only during the summer, everybody's either at the beach or the islands or lake in South Carolina. So that can happen. But normally, it does not matter what I wear on this tiny little island. Like there are no fancy places to go. Every is the most low key place you can imagine. But I think that's what people love about it so much in the summer. It truly is an escape from reality. I mean, once you go on the island, now if I go to Hilton Head Island, that's different. People dress for dinner. They don't put on fancy, but they put on cute. Like they're wearing,
Nice.
see, all these families that come out in Lily Pulitzer, the whole family. They're
Sorry,
matching.
I
It's
just had
a
a
thing.
picture.
No, you think I'm kidding? I take
No.
you there and they are a gas. Like mom will have the same outfit that the little toddler girl and
Oh,
boy do.
stop
Now,
it.
your hair may still be wet from the pool, but it'll be pulled back or put up with a bow if you're a little girl, but the clothes will be on point. You'll see a lot of the little belts that have fish or the
Oh my
South Carolina
gosh.
flag, the palmetto around it. I mean, cute little sundresses for dinner. People spruce up a little bit, but it's not like sequins are fancy. It's not formal, but it's definitely stylish. So
Right.
I would never go to Hilton Head and wear the same things I would wear on this other little island that's super low key, beach shacky kind of place because it's a different vibe. So understand where you're going and just bring the things for that, not bring everything. And also, when you're starting out and you're thinking about this, know your life. That's one of the first things I do
Yep.
with clients. Is I'm like, because people want to buy things, and I'm like, tell me again where we're wearing this,
Yeah.
or they are having a life change, and they have to realize some of their things they need to let go if they no longer serve them or suit them. And clearing that out gives you, and people have a lot of funny reasons for hanging on to clothes, memories, attachment. It's just what
Mm,
they know, but when you can edit that down, then when you go in there to build these outfits, it's going to make much more sense if you get rid of the stuff that doesn't
yeah.
work or is
I
necessary.
I gave the exercise to our Stop Masters members probably a couple years in a row now, basically to create a pie chart of your lifestyle and to
Yeah.
kind of, you know, don't be exact, but like, is half of your lifestyle, you know, active or is it work? You know, how much of it is work exercise, like going to the gym or playing pickleball or whatever. How much of it is date nights or going out with your friends or social? Like, and when you do that, then you get a real reality check. Okay, wait, my formal is this little skinny little slice. So why do I have 20 formal dresses in my closet? Do I really need those if I'm only literally going once a year to a formal event? Like these are things that can really,
And people don't think about some of the most
yeah,
mundane things they do in their life. Like I have one client, her child played outdoor hockey in a very cold climate in the winter. We bought a lot of clothes for her to wear to
Yeah,
hockey games because she's going there 2 or 3 times a week and
exactly.
cold, but she wanted to look cute. Sometimes because that's not something we think about getting dressed for, it's just part of our life. We miss it. Um,
Yes.
but like I would be remiss to not shop for cute things for pickleball because I play pickleball multiple times a
Right.
week and I
So that
want to
little
look cute.
pie chart is getting a little bit bigger, which means proportionately you should have about the same things based on this imaginary pie chart. Like it, and if you don't, and here's the thing, if you like half of your world is going to work or Zoom calls and you only have a few couple things, well then that should give you some permission to expand on that a little bit so that you have some variety and you can fill in that lifestyle a
You
little bit
brought up such
better.
a good point here because Jen, we have to revisit our closets,
All the
especially
time.
if we have changes in our life,
Yep.
seasonally, job shifts, sizing shifts,
Sizing
and
shift.
we
Yep.
need to edit them down. When your closet is well edited, it eliminates confusion and guilt. You will
Yes,
walk
the
in
guilt is strong. The guilt.
there is
Yes.
because I see women, what they do is they walk in there and they feel guilt, and it does two things. They get into the should haves. I really should wear that. It's been hanging here. I should, but they don't want to. They don't know what to do with it. And it is prohibitive in their brain to buy new clothes when they have a closet full of clothes,
That's right.
even if the closet they have does not work for
That's
their
right.
current keyword here, current life.
Right.
And that can mean a lot of things, but
Well, we
really
see a
edit.
lot of people that are active, retired. They finally have moved on, and they no longer have a quote unquote formal full-time job. Doesn't mean you're not working. I don't want to, that's not what I mean. But you no longer have to dress on a regular basis going to work. So now that, your proportions of your lifestyle completely changed. And now you've
Mm.
kind of got maybe quite a few things that you probably will never wear. And I would say that for a couple years, I probably did the same thing where there was a few couple like really beautiful wool trousers when I was working for corporate, and I kept holding on to them for just no good reason except well, they're so beautiful and I might need them. Until finally I was like, I don't even know if I fit in them anymore. It's, time to get rid of some of the things I'm not wearing anymore anyway. So, but yeah, it's easy to do
So
that. It's
I'll
easy to have
bring your thought
expensive clothes
together.
and not want to get rid of
Okay.
them.
I'm going to wrap this up with this ending thought
Yes,
that building outfits and getting dressed
should be
anytime
fun.
has to start in knowing who you are and knowing who you are right now, not who you were last week, last year, another place in your life, another
Truth.
season, especially we in midlife. There is a lot of change in midlife. And we really have to stop and think about who we are, who we want to be.
Yeah.
And I don't mean some pie in the sky, but how we want to
Right.
present ourselves, how we want to feel in our clothes, how we want to present in this season. Who are you? Because a lot of times we dress as junior's mommy when they're little. We got to wear clothes that are easy to wash. You get
Yeah.
slobber and dirt on them. You're dressing like a mommy. Who are you? These kids are gone. Maybe you're retiring. Maybe you're
Yeah.
going back to work. What are you? Who are you? What is your essence? And I always tell clients, revisit who you were as a little girl before life
Right.
interfered,
Right.
before told you couldn't, wouldn't, or shouldn't, before life took you down certain paths. Who are you at your core? What things have you always loved? What colors have you always loved? How do you want, like when you walk in a room, do you want to be noticed or do you just want to be noticed when you're up close for the good quality and the well put togetherness? Like we laugh all the time. When I walk in a room, I want an audible gasp. I was getting ready this weekend. I thought, ooh, this is going to be an audible gasp right here. And for me, sometimes we didn't say, but sometimes I'll even start with a makeup look I want to wear. That can be a thing too. I get new makeup in, like y'all get panties. I love makeup. I purchase makeup almost
Panties.
every week. And sometimes I will build a look around makeup, but that speaks to who I am because I
Right.
love makeup. It's part of my art, it's part of my craft. And sometimes I just want to wear it. So I'm going to build a look that makes that work and makes that makeup look really shine. So knowing who you are is critical. And as a
I
midlife
agree.
woman, you owe it to yourself to know who you are before you even get dressed. You owe it to yourself to live this last second half or whatever you want to call it of your life on your own terms and with some authenticity. And at Your Color Style, we're all about that, being authentically you and truthfully you in a way that feels great to you when you're in your clothes and when you're not, when you're laying in the bed. We hope to build women in a way that you just feel great about yourself, period. So we'll end on that, Jen.
Love it.
And
Perfect
until
ending.
next time, y'all go and get your Moxie on. Bye now.
Bye.